Hey creator friends, welcome to my channel, and in this video we are doing a second video for Canuary, that's right. And I'm so excited about this. So we're already like, maybe I'm going to say 2/3 through. If you have not had a chance to check out all the channels, you need to go down in my description box. There's going to be a link, takes you over to Lisa at Sutton's Days, to her website. And on that is going to be all the information that you need to know about Canuary. If you don't know already, there's going to be an awesome giveaway at the end. Lisa organizes Canuary every year. She does an amazing job. Thank you. But a thing that she does is she gives away one of the Presto canners at the end of it. She's always done that. But this year, there's more, because guess what? 4 Jars is sponsoring Canuary this year, which means they've got prizes on top of Lisa's prize, which are mind-blowing. Like, it's going to be, I think it's an all-American canner. There's going to be lids. There's going to be gift baskets, gift cards. You just need to click that link and go over and see everything, because I just can't remember it all. So it's amazing. It's just a fun thing to do, and I really feel blessed to be asked to be part of it. So thank you so much. But in this video, this guy is going to be doing the canning again. He had such a good time doing the other video. He just can't wait to do more videos. So I'm going to get things set up, and we'll bring you back and show you what we're doing. Okay, friends, just like the first video that we did for Canuary, I'm going to do another one out of the all-new Ball book of canning and preserving. There is a recipe on page 193 called Cranberry Mostarda, and it sounds awesome. It says it's a northern Italian condiment made of dried fruit, mustard syrup. It's been modified for using cranberries, and there's no dried ingredients in this except for the mustard seeds, I guess. But this sounds awesome. I didn't want to do another sweet jam or jelly, so I'm doing this mostarda because I think it sounds delicious, and I want to put it on like a roasted chicken. So we'll probably have to do a video on that too. But let me go through the ingredients for you, and I want to show you how I have them set up as well, because that's going to help you if you're new to canning, or you have one that's got a lot of ingredients or some complicated steps. Here's just a tip for you. But before we get to that, I need to tell you, when you're using vinegars of different flavors, this recipe calls for red wine vinegar. Always check the label. Somewhere on the label, like right there, it tells me that this is 5% acidity. It needs to be 5% for canning. Now, I did get some cider vinegar one time that was only 4%. So always check your vinegar percentage before you use it in a canning recipe. There's just your little safety tip. You know how I am about that. All right, ingredients. There is 3/4 cup of red wine. It's a good thing we never buy wine, so it was a good thing this is right after the new year, because people came in dinner and they brought us wine. So that's why I got red wine. I'm happy. And also it's 2 tablespoons of yellow mustard seed and 2 tablespoons of brown mustard seed. Problem is, mustard seed the brown was really hard for me to find. I had a bunch of yellow, so I'm just going to use that. They can substitute. You just need to know that the brown is a stronger mustard seed, more spicy than yellow, so this would just be milder. The other thing it has is 2 12-ounce packages, or 24 ounces of fresh or frozen cranberries. These were frozen. I've rinsed them. They're ready to go. 1 cup of sugar. This has kind of got a little not so much sugar when you think about it, as far as a canning recipe. And 1/4 cup of that red wine vinegar. And in here it says 5% acidity, so there's your reminder. 2 teaspoons of salt, 1/2 of a medium red onion chopped up, and then 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. You can show them that. And then 1/2 teaspoon of finely ground pepper. Now, I'm gonna kind of tilt you down so you can see how I've got this laid out. So when you read the instructions, this is a lot to kind of keep in mind. So I go through the instructions and I set these things up in the order in which they go. So the first part of this ingredient is to take the first 3 ingredients. I have 2 because it should technically be 2 brown and yellow mustard seed. But so it's take the first ingredients, put them in an enamel pan over medium-high heat, and then let it simmer. As soon as it comes to a simmer, you just remove it and let it stand for 10 minutes. That's going to soften those seeds. Then you take the cranberries and the next 4 ingredients that I have surrounding the cranberries, because that's its little step. And they're going to go into a larger pot. They're going to cook for 10 minutes until these cranberry skins begin to split, and it'll start to thicken. Remember that, because I'm going to come back and tell you something about it. When all that's done, you're going to stir this mustard seed mixture and the Dijon and the pepper here. So that's why I have it kind of divided in those little groups. You might notice that there is no pectin in here. There's no pectin in this ingredient, but it's still going to become thick, and the reason is cranberry itself is super rich in pectin. So if you use cranberry and stuff, it oftentimes will just gel up. It's just perfect for that. So we're going to get started by taking this little pot, and we're going to put the red wine and the mustard seeds in there, and then we're going to put that on the stove, bring it to a simmer, and a simmer is not like a boil, it's just the occasional little bubble and kind of that ripple on the top. And we're going to let those go for 10 minutes. Well, we're going to get it to a simmer, and then we're going to let them stand for 10 minutes. So we'll bring you back as soon as those are simmered. Just got that in a nice little simmering. And that's going to go for 10 minutes. While that's happening, we'll put the other things together for you. All right, so while those mustard seeds are sitting there simmering, I've put the cranberries in this pot. So it says bring the cranberries and the next 4 ingredients to a boil. So that's the cranberries. The next 4 ingredients are the sugar, and then a 1/4 cup of that red wine vinegar. Okay. Perfect. And then the 2 teaspoons of salt.
Correct.
Yep. I got it all measured. Make it easy for you. And then the 1/2 of the medium-sized red onion. That one, yeah. So what's going to happen? This is interesting. So if you think about it, that onion is not a low-acid food. So it's normally not something that you would can in a boiled water canner. But why can you do it this way? Because you've got enough of the vinegar to offset that and make it acceptable, or something that can be boiled water canned. So that's awesome. So now Brian's going to take that over and mix it up, bring it to a boil, and it says cook it 10 minutes. Or it says, hang on, bring the cranberries and the next 4 ingredients to a boil in a large stainless steel. There you go. 10 minutes, or until most of the cranberry skins begin to split, and then the mixture thickens. Look at that. He's gone. He's out. So we'll go over there and see what he's doing at the stove. All right, so that sugar, as it gets warm, that sugar is going to dissolve. It's going to make a liquid. It's going to be awesome. But I always like to read the next step so I'm prepared for it. So this is going to cook for 10 minutes until most of the skins begin to split and the mixture begins to thicken. And it's thickening because of the pectin that's naturally in the cranberries. When that happens, we're going to stir in the mustard seed mixture and the Dijon mustard and the pepper. So you're going to stir in the mustard seed, the Dijon mustard, and the pepper. Doesn't this sound good? Like on chicken? Mm-hmm. I think it sounds great. Like chicken breast in the air fryer, it's going to be so good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to reduce the heat to medium-low and let it simmer for 15 minutes. So let this go for about 10 minutes, then we'll come back and add everything. So you can see that sugar's dissolved. Those are actually starting to plump up. It should be pretty quick. It'll start boiling and those will begin to split. So we'll come back when it's really making progress. All right, so it's starting to boil. Brian wondered if we should turn it down. No, we should let it boil. And, if it's boiling over, yeah, but just this kind of thing is fine. That's going to make those skins split, and it's going to go from there. So we just keep stirring it around so that it doesn't stick to the pot. And just kind of monitor it. So we'll be back. All right, Brian's checking on football while I'm stirring, but you can see how that's thickening up, and those berries are starting to split. Gonna be great. Okay, our 10 minutes is up, and now Brian is going to pour in that mixture, the mustard and the pepper. You want me to do something here? Got it? Blocking the camera. Oh. Yes. Perfect. Give that a stir. That's going to loosen it up a little bit. I brought you that little spatula for the mustard. Let me just toss that in a bowl in that other pot and I'll wash it. And the pepper. Now we're going to give it a good stir, and then it says to Dijon mustard pepper. Reduce the heat to medium-low and simmer for 15 minutes or until the mixture begins to thicken. Well, it's pretty thick, so we're just going to give it a little bit and make sure all that's incorporated. Then we'll come back and get ready to put it in the jars. So these have gone for 15 minutes, and then the lid came off, power got turned off, so they didn't boil for 5 minutes. And oh, I just heard it.
Yeah.
And Brian is done, so he's going to show you. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. Perfect. Hey, another shout out to Canning Lids from 4Jars, because you can already hear these popping. They are such a good company. I appreciate how much they support the canning community when other companies didn't. This is a company that really stands behind their product, and they stand behind the people that they make it for. So yay, shout out to 4Jars, and shout out to Lisa at Sutton's Days for making an awesome Canuary again this year. And shout out to Brian. Hang on, look at this guy. He's a canner now. Love you. Anyway, he did good. So I'm excited, and I've got another recipe for him to do here in a little bit. We're going to just do so much good stuff together. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.